So, Wet and Forget then. This was actually recommended to me by one of my friends, as I told him I was kind of pressure washing my drive, and he said, actually, you want to get some Wet and Forget? I said, well, I'd never actually heard about it at all. So I didn't know what it was at all. So I did a little bit of research, and then I ended up buying the bottle on the right hand side, and that's a 2 litre bottle of Wet and Forget, and that actually lasted me about 3 years. I've actually just gone and bought myself the bottle on the left, which is the larger 5 litre bottle. They actually make a 7 litre as well, but I'm now using the smaller bottle on the right as to mix it up, to keep my kind of diluted version in it, as you can tell probably by the colour difference between the two. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about how you use it. Now, it's good on tiles, paving, brick, cladding and wood, and probably many other materials as well, but do take a small do a little test area just to check it out first. Now, there's no bleach in this, and it's a mould lichen and algae remover. Now, it comes in 3 sizes because it's a concentrate. So a 2 litre will make 12 litres because it's a 5:1 ratio, or 1 part Wet and Forget to 5 parts water. So the 5 litre they do will make 30 litres, and the 7 litre will make 42 litres. So you've got quite a lot for your money in this. So it's biodegradable as well, cleans any exterior surface safely with no water blasting or scrubbing required. Right, so let's have a look at the back of the container. So how it works is, once treated with Wet and Forget, the surface requires no pressure washing, scrubbing or rinsing. If the surface to be cleaned is not fully exposed to rain or is vertical, some assistance may be required to remove the contamination. Just thoroughly wet the dry surface with the product and then forget about it. The elements, the sun, the wind and the rain, slowly but gently wash the contamination away from the treated surface. So in some bad cases, it can take 6 to 12 months for stubborn contamination even to come clean. So remember to be patient, and that is the main key with this stuff. You may not see instant results on this, but you might see some instant results, and you might have to give it another coat as well. So as it says on the back here, mix 1 part to 5 parts of water, and you want to thoroughly saturate the dry surface with the Wet and Forget mixture. Don't use a hose first, so don't get it wet first. Just put it straight on. And it's best applied on an overcast or with dry conditions to avoid evaporation. And don't apply if the rain is expected within 4 to 5 hours. And you may need a second application 1 to 2 months after the first. Basically, that's really it. So do be patient on this one, because I say you might not see results straight away. The funny thing is, it's actually made in New Zealand, which I didn't know until I looked on this. Remember to wear eye protection and sort of rubber gloves when you're using it as well. Now, how do you put it on? Well, that's a good question. I kind of used 2 different methods, to be honest. I used a spray bottle, a normal sprayer that I sometimes put weed killer in. I just kind of rinse that out and then put the Wet and Forget in it. I've also used a brush, and I don't mean kind of like a paintbrush. I do mean like a fence kind of brush, as you see here, the sort of one I would use for sort of fence painting as well. If you're going to use doing something like a brick wall that's probably vertical, or you're probably better off with a brush so it doesn't just sort of go anywhere, because obviously it's just as wet as water really, so it's going to run a fair bit. So a lot of people do use sprayers on these. And I have used a sprayer when it comes to the roof tiles, just to basically get a bit more reach when I'm up a short ladder. But I've also used a broom. I've actually got it wet and actually used a broom and just done it on flat kind of garden slabs as well. Right, so let's show you my roof. Now, as you can probably see here, on the top section where it's covered by the overhang, it's very, very clean. Back to normal kind of flat tile, but you can see there's a lot of kind of algae and stuff there on it. So this was a kind of a before picture, and I did a small section, and I kept looking at this small section thinking, actually, that's really clean compared to the rest of it. And I haven't got that small section on its own, but if you look here, you can see the big difference here. On the right, is where I did a small section. It's slightly darker than the rest for some reason. But then I did the top 4 kind of rows of tiles there with the spray bottle. And you can see where I couldn't quite reach because the top 3 kind of lines haven't been touched. And there's a lot of difference. Now this is over just like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. And it could probably do with a second coat. But you can really tell a difference between where I've been and where I haven't been. And then if we look on the front, that's south facing as well. If you look on the front of the house, where it's north facing on this short overhang with tiles on. Now the tiles are clean, but there is a lot of moss on the front. Now it's not going to get rid of the moss for you. You're still going to have to kind of try and get rid of that moss yourself. But you can see on the top row there where it's kind of, I couldn't reach it and it's a bit messy, but they are actually clean, these tiles, when you actually get up close to them. So it did work on the front here as well, and I used a kind of spray bottle on those at the front there. So it has clearly been working. So if you want to buy this is actually available on Amazon. And currently the price at the beginning of Feb 2025 is $27.45 for 5 litres. And that's not bad, actually. It's not a bad price, especially because you get free delivery as well. So this is the 5 litre one. So I just wanted to show you this, mainly to tell you that obviously I'll put a link to this in the video description below if you want to buy it, and I'll get a few pennies commission from it as well. But I also wanted to show you the reviews of other people who've used it on the Amazon site, because there's quite a few pictures. So I think we should go through those. So I'm just going to scroll down to the reviews on here. I'm just going to click on the images here and sort of go through them. So I'm just going to, I mean, somebody did there like a bleach test slab look. But I'm just going to go through some of these before and afters. So CSM here says, takes time to see the cleaning effects. After a couple of months using this product on some heavily lichen infected brickwork in my back garden, it's dramatically cleared. I followed the instructions to apply the product twice to the affected areas within the first 2 days. I repeated a lighter spray after a week and then a week after. So a few applications there. I might have done it a third time, but I can't remember. Nonetheless, a couple of months later, the lichen, while hasn't completely disappeared, has improved very noticeably. Get a pump sprayer to use, and what you have left over can be used the next time. Yeah, you can store it. You can store this stuff. It doesn't go off. You can just leave it sitting on the shelf. Simple process, but takes time to see the benefits. There you go. So this was before, and this is after. So yeah, that looks really, really good, doesn't it? You can still see a few black spots on there, but I would say that is just as good or better than pressure washing. I mean, if you wanted to, you could still pressure wash it and then add this on afterwards if you wanted to. Nothing wrong with that. There you go. This person says, Buzzwax says 4 weeks, nothing. 3 months, nothing. 9 months, amazing difference. So he mixed it 4-to-1 ratio. And this was the picture from 4 weeks down the line with his no difference. So he didn't really he added to his review, I believe. So here's some fencing. You can see you've got a little bit of, it's been painted, or you've got some algae on the top, and then it's kind of cleaned it up. Got the growth off the fence. It says to apply when it won't rain. Unfortunately, I misjudged this and it rained an hour after applying, but it still removed all the green from the fence. There you go. Ah, headstones. Yeah, look, I applied it and undiluted to clean the grime from my family's headstone. It's easy to brush on. It takes several applications to notice any results, but definitely getting there. So yeah, I think it's a matter of time. This is somebody who was saying that it does kind of discolour the stains a little bit when you put it on. But that was it afterwards. So that is pretty good. Oh, and here's some decking wood. Astonishing results on decking board. Slippery deck in the garden. Yeah, normally you can spend ages scrubbing away on this, and here's the kind of after shot, nice and clean. Oh, and here's like a good shot of kind of before and after, with kind of green algae on a wooden fence and then being kind of cleaned up as well. It's always good to have the before and afters. Here's another one of a fence, obviously two sides of it. Looks pretty good. This is someone who's used it under their front door lamp. I actually thought that that wasn't too bad when I saw it first of all, but this is actually the after shot. They're actually in the wrong order, these photos. So this is how it looked before. And then with that going, and then that kind of afterwards. So it has done a pretty good job there, I must admit. Here's another picture of a fence where a section's been done. It does look a lot better, doesn't it? Here's one of some slabs. Whether you get the same result pressure washing on this, I don't know. It depends how bad the slabs are, really. That is if you've got a pressure washer. Here's someone who's put it on because it looks quite liquidy. A few weeks into winter and it was thick with algae and lichen. Deeply stained. Basically, they sprayed it on and 24 hours difference. There you go. That looks like new. I mean, it was new that year, his slabs anyway, so they were quite new, but that's a good result for 24 hours. This is another one I like. Sometimes I've got the same problem where you've got decorative stones or in a water feature where they've gone green, and the only way to do it is obviously to either do a light kind of pressure washing over it or actually to take all of the stones out and actually put them in kind of bleach and then put them all back again. It's a bit of a job. So if you could use it on here, basically they said 48 hours and it took it back to normal colour. So 2 days is pretty good, and sort of again here as well. On a wider shot, you can see the changing colour between the two. Yeah, so by all means, look on Amazon at the reviews. There are some really good images on here actually of before and after. And that's why I'm using them to take you through it. Here's another one of decking, big difference there. Right, so if that's made you feel like buying some, you can of course buy some from Amazon. As I said, I'll put my link in the description below. You can also buy this direct from Wet and Forget. So if you want to, go check out their website, just Google them and I'm sure you'll find them. All their other products are on there as well. They make various other things like kind of shower cleaner and kind of, I think they do kind of window cleaner. And I think they also make this in a way you can put a hose on the back of it. So if you actually want to do your roof and not get up on the roof or use scaffolding or ladders, then I think you can spray this several feet in the air to actually get your roof as well. It's quite easy to attach a hose onto the sprayer bottle that they supply it in. That's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And also leave your comments below if you've tried this and had good results. And also leave your comments if you've tried this and had bad results as well. So that's really important to get both sides of the story. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.